Okay, so this story is nuts. And it starts with a new story from the New York Post that has just dropped. Ashley St. Clair feels jilted and terrified after Elon Musk refused to protect her, pal says. This has become viral, scandalous. It's one of the top dominating stories in the cultural space. Now, we here at Timcast, we are a relatively hard news, esoteric show. We don't really jump into the scandalous cultural personal affairs. But this one is one of the biggest cultural stories. Why? Well, Elon is arguably the most important, not more than Trump, but he's like number 2, basically, in terms of importance in the world, what with the gutting of all the corruption and what Doge is doing. And this story hits a nerve on what the right, who has just had a tremendous cultural victory, is willing to accept. So let's start with the gist of the story, which I think we have this one. Man, there's just a ridiculous amount of stories on this, okay? Here's a story from the 15th. Ashley St. Clair influencer who claims to have had Musk's 13th child reveals life of secrecy after whirlwind romance with down-to-earth billionaire. Here you can see Ashley St. Clair. I will say, full disclosure, we're at Timcast. We consider her a friend of the show. She's been a couple times. It's not like I hang out with her all the time, but I do think I consider her to be a friend in the industry, just so that's clear. They're going to mention in an exclusive sit-down from her glitzy Manhattan pad Saturday, Ashley St. Clair, 26, described the 53-year-old Tesla and SpaceX mogul as funny and down-to-earth, but claimed that he wanted to keep their baby a secret for everyone's safety. My child is the most important thing that happened to me. I wouldn't change anything. St. Clair broke the internet on Friday when she posted on X that she gave birth to Musk's baby 5 months ago, a revelation she said she was forced to make due to prying tabloid reporters. Musk has not yet acknowledged the allegations, and his reps did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Quote, Ashley and Elon have been privately working towards the creation of an agreement about raising their child for some time. It is disappointing that a tabloid reporter who repeatedly ambushed Ashley and her family made it impossible to complete that process confidentially. We are waiting for Elon to publicly acknowledge his parental role with Ashley to end unwarranted speculation, and Ashley trusts that Elon intends to finish their agreement quickly, in the best interests of the well-being and security of the child they share. Now, Ashley put out a statement on Friday saying that because there were these tabloid journalists basically hounding her and her family, she was forced to make this disclosure, which she did not want to do. The story has now taken multiple form, with the New York Post basically going off about it, the Daily Mail picking it up, as they were the ones, I believe, who I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming, I think it was Daily Mail that was going after it initially.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And here we are now. Some are speculating with the release of these stories that what's actually happened is that, now I'm not saying this is true, but with that statement about they haven't come to an agreement yet, some are speculating the story was Elon dropped the story, dropped the conversation, was not negotiating an agreement. And so the real reason Ashley went public was because she was trying to put pressure on Elon to come to some kind of agreement. That's speculation online. I would just say, Occam's razor.
Yeah.
The likely solution, the solution that is likely makes the least amount of assumptions. I think it's fair to say, with the tabloids writing the story like crazy, aside from the fact she did obviously do the story with the New York Post, that she was pressured because of the media. But this is a wild story with tons of prominent conservative personalities going off saying that this should be unacceptable. The right should not tolerate single motherhood in this way and praise or defend it, while many other prominent conservatives are defending Ashley because she's been great for the MAGA movement. I don't know. You guys were mentioning before that you think that it's much more conspiratorial and crazier than that. So I don't know what you think.
Why does this one have to be a secret? Like, I wonder if that's the case for him. Why does this baby have to be a secret while he totes the other ones around?
Was it a secret, or was it just currently a secret? Like,
right.
when Elon had all these other kids, was it publicly declared, like, new baby born?
Well, when he had his second baby, I believe with Grimes, is also when the story came out that he had his other baby coming out with the Neuralink CEO. So that was a secret baby to them.
She tweeted him, and then she ended up deleting the tweet on the 15th, and she said, Elon, we've been trying to communicate for the past several days, and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who'd posted photos of me in underwear at 15 years old? The only acknowledgement was back to Milo. Milo was posting, like, she's been going after him for years, and so Elon responded, whoa, and then Ashley responded that to him and then ended up deleting it. So I think that created
while
let's see if we
Milo's
can...
account was banned for 7 days.
Yeah.
So it was very
really?
strange to see Elon posting to an account that had been
Was it banned under Elon or prior to his taking over Twitter?
I think it was already. Milo was back, but I think Elon responded to it after Milo had been banned.
Here's the tweet. Scandalous from the New York Post. Milo, who literally was on the show last week, tweeted, Ashley St. Clair plotted for half a decade to ensnare Elon Musk. And there's a tweet. I guess we got to pull up the image. It has been deleted, I guess. And it said, I need to get Elon Musk's attention for a marriage proposal, please, Greg. He said he's got a kid with a woman already. Seems unlikely to work out. St. Clair responded, well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through them pretty fast with a crying emoji. I don't think it's fair to say that proves she was going after Elon planning for this to happen.
She said that was in jest.
I believe it absolutely was a joke. I don't think she's actually sitting there, I'm going to get Elon or whatever.
Also seems possible, though.
But Elon did respond, whoa, to it.
Yeah, and that was his only public.
And then what did she responded to it, but she deleted that tweet?
Yeah, so she deleted the tweet very quickly. I got a screenshot of it, so it's like I saw it myself. And she said, Elon, we've been trying to communicate for the past several days, and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding, yada, yada. So that's the only time that he's publicly acknowledged this. He's tweeting through it. And
it really does sound like then it's not entirely, or I don't know, that Ashley was being hounded by the tabloids, but that Elon was not coordinating with
her lawyer.
Yeah, to be the dad and pay the bills or whatever he's got to do.
These two were like publicly arguing about H-1B just a few months ago.
Elon and Ashley?
Yeah. So, maybe there was something else going on behind the scenes then.
I mean, it may very well just be that they were having a dispute. They didn't intend to go public until the tabloids got wind of the dispute. And then she was like, I guess I have no choice,
Right. I mean, the New York Post piece that John Levine posted said that he's putting her up in a $40,000 a month place in New York. And I wonder if that's
$40,000 a month.
Yeah, that's what it says.
How much do you think? Okay. I shouldn't even ask the question. There are tons of women that probably would be like, if only they could have a kid with Elon and then 100%. Never have to do anything else.
AOC's pregnant right now.
Dave, is she really, though?
I don't know.
That is a rumor going around that she is. There's the Dave Chappelle joke where, remember Chappelle's show? Oprah calls Dave and she's like, Dave, I'm pregnant. And he goes, I got you, bitch.
Yeah.
That was his joke. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's a tale as old as time. You try to get with the rich guy and then you just milk it dry. It was the Playboy guy, wasn't it Hugh Hefner?
Yeah.
All of those women who were sleeping with him all that time, it wasn't his sparkling personality.
Yeah, this is an archetype of a rich man with lots of children.
Yeah.
Spread across the globe.
Yeah, considering the fact that Elon has made it abundantly clear to the world that he's looking to have as many children as he possibly can, I don't think that it's beyond someone to say, hey, this is probably a fairly easy thing to nail down,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he wants to have an army of mini Musks, but
I do.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I
just
don't.
like Jeffrey Epstein. He also was farming out. He wanted to create a whole army of little Epsteins.
Yeah, he was that was part of. Epstein was all about.
It was weird.
Yeah, it's
they're both transhumanists.
Elon, however, to a certain degree, he does talk about we got to repopulate and all that
100%.
stuff. I do not believe that is his principal motivation. Sometimes rich, powerful men just want to bang young women. It's really that simple.
What if in the contract is to bring him to Mars? They're for his breakaway civilization.
I think it's
Elon. His whole plan is not to help humanity. It's literally he and a bunch of concubine are going to go to Mars.
Yes.
I mean, look. The guy's got. He's has no concerns about money, right?
Yeah.
And he has the ability to meet and interact with women, and he's impressive to women. So, I mean, look, whether or not his intent is to get out there and actually make as many babies as possible, or he's just careless about it because what does it matter? I can go ahead and take care of this woman.
That goes back to
that's the point. Then it's either he's careless and says, "Oh, it's fine if I do get this woman pregnant," or he's actually intentionally getting women pregnant.
That goes back to how he started this segment. I think for the conservative movement, it's just a bad look. I am very opposed to single motherhood like this, very opposed to his example of a father. I'm putting that in quotes because he seems to only use one as a prop. I don't think it's a good look.
Is this about the conservative movement, or is this about not the left? Because we have been so, and I said this on Twitter a couple days ago, we have been so inundated with leftism. It's literally in the air. It's like being a fish in water. Everything is leftist. Even though the leftists will swear up and down that, we're right on the cusp of a Nazi takeover. We have been living in a leftist world for the better part of 40 years. The left has been controlling everything. And I think that people on the right, people that are conservative, religious, I think that they do not control the not left. They may actually have significant influence over the right. They may have a significant influence over the conservatives, but they don't have significant influence over the right more broadly, and they definitely don't have significant influence over the not left. And I think that Elon Musk and all that's going on doesn't fall under the conservative Christians or the conservative right. I think that it falls under the not left, and because of the world that we live in, everything that we see that is not left is knee-jerk said, oh, well, it's conservative right, but that's thinking like a leftist.
Maybe I should say then, being a present father should be bipartisan. I think setting an example of being
you're speaking
father.
of that from a conservative perspective.
I am, but it should be a thing that goes across the aisles.
Barack Obama was a super present father. That was one of the only things that I really loved about Barack Obama.
Those kids have two fathers.
Yeah.
But I was gearing up to make the joke, but you got there before I could.
Sorry.
But I think that it would do the MAGA coalition or the new Republicans, however you want to phrase it, it would do them well to look at this as a situation that is not the conservative right. This is about the big tent, which is something that everybody acknowledges is necessary to continue to win elections. This is the big tent, right? And so if we're gonna, as a big tent movement, if we're gonna say, well, Ashley is not conservative, she's not a Christian, she's doing this wrong. If we're going to kick people out, or Musk is, if we're going to kick people out because they're not doing the things that a narrow group of people on the right want, then it is going to be a very, very short amount of time that this big tent has as a coalition.
It will collapse in on itself eventually. Yeah. And then people sacrificing their morals to allow it to be a big tent will eventually turn it on itself. Like there's many things I'm way against Trump on in terms of his stance on abortion now and propping up a lot of these people. That shouldn't take away from the things I do think I love Doge. Like this personal feelings aside and how I feel about him as how I view his fatherhood, what I think it is, I love what he's doing with Doge. I just don't want to prop up people that I think are degenerate.
So this is something that I struggle with Elon, because he talks a lot about the fact that we are facing a real birth crisis, and it's 100% true. And I don't think that he's carrying around his child as a prop. I think it's great that he's showing that you can be a father, and because I bring my kids to meetings all the time, and it's nice to see a father doing that. It makes it easier on me as a mother who does it. But I struggle with the other parts of it, the fact that he has other children who do not have a present father. And that is so critically important for you can bring children into this world, but they're not going to turn out okay if they don't have their dad.
He wants to put all of them in a compound in Texas. That's weird.
Wait, he said that?
There's an article. He bought a compound in Texas to put all the wives and the kids. I think maybe two of the women.
Like a little Muskville?
It's Big Love. It's Big Love.
Well, look, here's the reality. Andrew Tate tweeted something like, if you have, if your children are all with one woman, you're weak or something like that.
Another degenerate.
Conqueror.
No, you're not a conqueror.
But here's the issue. It's like, we know that kids who don't have dads grow up to do drugs and be impoverished and
turn trans, like one of Elon's kids.
No, but it's just, look, you need parents in your life.
Yep.
So I hope Elon figures that out, but I do agree with Phil largely that I think it's worthy of criticism. And we also at the same time recognize the big tent is going to have things like this in it.
Yep. Yeah.
And so you criticize it and say, Look, Ashley has done well to help Trump and MAGA as an influencer, and so I'm a fan of all that. This is personal stuff that I think we have no problem criticizing, but at the same time, I don't know enough about it. I mean, I guess
expected with Maha, like a lot of people have come like for the Big Ten stuff that I'm for the Maha stuff. And there's personal things with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm like, ugh, but I love his ideas, right? So I'm willing to hear those out, and I like that they're being carried out hopefully soon.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.